the side-to-side sprints. I don't know. They weren't suicides, but something similar to that, right? Where you just like stop. And I remember my legs were burning so bad, but my body like just kept going. And I remember my coach walking down the aisle. He's like, "And that's what I like about you, Tuna. Your mind's telling you no, but your legs keep going." And he's like, my legs just started shaking even more, and I fucking fell. What an idiot. Dude, I was like, I can't even move right now. My legs hurt so bad. Just collapsed.
Yeah, so you've been to that point of exhaustion where your legs just give out on you.
Yeah, like, I mean, you can only do so much physically for, like, I mean, and back then, I ran every day. Yeah, I mean, multiple miles a day, not on purpose, but because of baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't put my jogging shoes on, but I was in very good cardio shape. And I just remember my legs just, I mean, they felt like fluid rocks. If that makes any sense. And my
Wait, fluid rocks? You're going to have to, what?
Like, fluid, you know what I mean? Like, solid fluid is what it felt like. It was just so much. Does that make sense? I don't know.
That sounds gross.
Like, your legs start swelling up, and they just turn to rocks, and they're so freaking hard you can't move.
I mean, no. I don't think I've ever had that, man.
No, that's what it felt like to me. It's like my legs just felt like they were full of fluids, and all of a sudden it just got so tight, like there's so much pressure, there's nowhere to go, but collapse.
Like mine basically it just feels like they go numb. Like when it happened to me, remember when we used to do the Rumble?
Yeah.
So the Rumble is when we'd go to our buddy's house. They had like this playroom upstairs, and we would just beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, it was fun. That was that was a fucking fun time. Yeah, that was straight up like throwing shit at each other,
like with intent to hurt.
You let like the first couple guys start going, kind of fighting, and all of a sudden it's just like blah blah, and they always start throwing shit and beating the hell out of each other.
It's like 10 guys just fight clubbing it out.
Yeah, nobody's on anybody's team, but we kind of had teams, but we kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was kind of fun, man.
Like you were kind of like, all right, you're hitting him too hard, knock it off, and then you'd go after that person.
That guy's ass.
Yeah, you're like, all right, stop it. Or I just fought you like 5 minutes ago. I feel like we're still good.
Like an unfair match, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, nah, we gotta drop kick this team.
Oh yeah, and that was always kind of the fun part too, is to blindside somebody.
Yeah. It was friends, so.
Oh yeah, you didn't come out mad at anybody.
No.
You settled it there.
Good, or else everyone else would kick your ass too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember one of our buddies. I was just walking by, and he wasn't even like in, right?
Yeah.
I was just a dick, and I reached up and I kicked him dead in the chest. And
yeah.
we were filming that one, so when you hear the video back, it just goes,
yeah,
and everybody's like, "Oh!"
Yeah, those are good times, man. They had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you the story the other day, but I'll tell you again. The time that we were like, we were obviously young, but we were like in the egging stage, like where we would just throw eggs, and like we were getting way too brave with it. So I come home, and it was like late at night, and I go into the fridge and grab a couple eggs, and outside of the backyard, the house is kind of up, you know, kind of like. So I'd grab 3 eggs and I'd go outside. It was pitch black, and I figured basically how far I could throw. You know, as long as I lofted, I could get a nice little trajectory. And so up this hill, I could see this house, and in the house, it's like everything's dark, but this guy is sitting at the window. There's no blinds, nothing like that. It's wide fucking open. I don't know if they just moved in or they just decided blinds were a good idea. But he had the light on, so I could see his silhouette, him sitting in a big old chair. So I walk outside, everything's dark. I have 3 eggs in my hands, and I just chunk 1, 2, 3, right? And they're in the air this whole time, and I just run and get inside. And where the dining room was, there's a window, right? And so I look at that window, and those eggs just go boom, 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 on his window. He freaked out real quick. This dude freaked the fuck out. And so I was like, okay. He doesn't know it's me. So I go to the fridge. I grab 3 more. I wait a little while until this dude's like calms down, because he's thinking now, like, hey, this shit's not fucking.
I'm under attack.
Like I can only imagine he's thinking like, 10 o'clock at night or something like that, 11 o'clock at night, which seemed late back then, which is probably why it's stupid.
I mean, it is kind of late.
Yeah, well, it was kind of late for like a younger kid. So, yeah, he goes back to watching TV. So I was like, fuck it, go to the fridge. I get 3 more. Go outside, and I fucking do it again. 1, 2, 3. Just chunk him up in there, dude. And this time I was like, well, I'm not gonna run inside now. He doesn't know it's me. So I'm sitting there watching him, like running up to the fence, and all 3 of them get hits his fucking window. He's like, right there, as your arms waving, like get up. He's like looking out the window real quick, fuck this dude all night. It was nuts. As long as I was at that certain point, I could throw it as hard as I could, right? And have enough hang time where I could get 3 of them in the air and run. So it was like perfect because his house wasn't that far away, but it was up on that hill,
Mm-hmm.
So you put the loft on it. Yeah, poor guy. If he listens to this podcast, he's ready to kick my ass.
It was okay. It was a person. It was real.
Well, one time you can maybe be like, okay, maybe like, I don't know, 2, 3 birds ran into my window. Second time, he's like, all right, someone's fucked with me now. I'm about to kick his ass. And then you see eggs, you're like thinking, damn, is somebody in my fucking backyard just chunking eggs in my window? Awesome. Well, probably not awesome, but it was something.
It was definitely something.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You know that time somebody was in our backyard?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I was payback for doing that to that guy.
Yeah, yes. But that was insane. Dad like chased the kid down.
Huh?
Dad chased that kid down, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a shotgun.
Yeah.
And he said, go inside, boys, because me and Sean. And I was like, okay. And I told Sean on the way back home, I said, if you hear a gunshot, it's because my dad killed that man. Because he said something. He's like, why didn't you just like shoot when it, just like shoot up in the air, shoot the ground, whatever. Because we saw the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, what your dad gonna do with the guns? He gonna shoot up in the air or something? I was like, no, bro. My dad's gonna shoot that gun. He's gonna shoot to kill that guy. Like he was dead, was so serious. Because I was fucked up. I was drunk as shit. I was like 120.
How old were you?
16, 17.
You're drunk, huh?
Well, for a 16, 17-year-old, it's like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Pretty good for 16-year-old, 17-year-old. Anyway, so we were coming down, right? And I was like, because anytime Alec would drop me off in his Camaro, he would pull down the street pretty quick, put it in neutral, and then kill it. Because his Camaro was so fucking loud.
Yeah.
And so, like, I would get out, but at the same time, close the door and, like, start pushing the Camaro, you know what I mean? That way he had enough momentum to get down the street.
Yeah.
And to the house. Well, I learned that trick from him, so I would cruise down the alley and put it in neutral and kill the lights. And then, you got no power steering, so you got to yank the steering wheel. So I did that. Got enough speed down the alley, killed the lights, put it in neutral, killed the car, and just swing into our backyard. And we get out, we're trying to be quiet, like shut the door, we're all quiet and shit. And that backyard had 2 gates, one in the driveway and then one in the very front of the house. Well, when we got to the fucking the gate open, I walked through, and this dude's like staring through the window. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, hey! And he took off running around that gate, right? I was like, Sean, someone's in the house, or someone's in the backyard. He's like, what? And so we took off running around the alley, right? And so, we took off running around the side of the house. We went through the driveway, went through that door, down to the front of the house because he ran, out the gate where it's the front.
Yeah.
So we ran, we didn't see him. I was like, all right, let's go wake up my dad. And so I woke up Dad. I was like, hey, Dad, someone's in our backyard looking through the fucking window. Dude, first thing he's like, what the fuck? Grab the shotgun, crack that bitch. I was like,
it's on.
Dead shit. He's gonna kill us, man. And so like me, Dad, and Sean, I was like, okay, well, we're gonna go up this side the way we came, and then you go around Devin and Brian's house. Remember
Devin and Brian, yeah.
So he went up the side, right? And we met him on the street behind us. And Dad was walking up to his house, and I was like, oh shit. So we went there, and there's a guy sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette, sweating. And he's like, why are you sweating? He's like, oh, I was just jogging. He's like, oh yeah? You locked down this house or something? And he's like, oh, this is my house. He's like, this is your house? Why don't you go inside then, motherfucker? And then the guy wouldn't go inside, right? Because it wasn't his house. He tried to hide the bushes. And so Dad told us, he's like, hey, y'all need to head home. And I was like, oh, he's going to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Because he was serious. Back then, when the nostrils flare and the forearms were bolder.
Oh, the forearms.
So we're walking, and Sean's like, why don't you just like shoot a warning shot off or something? I was like, no, bro, if he's going to shoot that shotgun, he's going to kill that man.
Mm-hmm.
Dad didn't shoot him though. It was a kid. Well, I say kid. It was like a 20-some-year-old man-child who lived at his parents' house down the road. That same kid, right, was walking down our street one day, and it was me, Eric Chris Epperson, and Dad. And Dad was teaching me and Chris how to run routes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we would run routes, we would catch the ball and flip it to Eric, and Eric would throw it to Dad. And so we were doing that, like just running kind of like a little post or whatever, you know. And that kid's walking towards us while we're throwing the football. And Dad leans into me and he goes, hey, run up that sideline right there. Just keep running. I was like, okay. And so, like, I just started running, right? And the kid at this point is probably like 15 feet away from Dad. So I take off running, and Dad reaches back and throws the football and smokes that guy in the face.
What?
Yes. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
The guy didn't say a fucking word. He just kept walking.
Damn.
Oh, and it wasn't soft. It was not soft. Because I was like running, and I was like waiting for the pass. I was like, what's he doing? And he just smokes him right in the fucking face. And Eric's sitting there going, oh Steve. Yeah, just like cracking up. It's crazy.
That's fucking, I've never heard that.
Oh, you never heard that story?
No.
Eric's got so many stories.
Oh, can we tell some Eric stories?
Well, I mean, you would have to tell Dad, you know.
No.
There's times where Eric would be like, oh, you don't know the half. They're like, tell me, Eric, and you know, he can tell us and shit. Yeah, Dad whooped some guy's ass over this little guy on our team. His dad, I don't know, was falling on hard times basically, so wanted his son to be a gator really bad. And his son was, you know, he was smaller and he tried hard, but he wasn't very good. You know, like he could have been good if he was a big kid. Like
mm-hmm.
he was good. He just had good spirit, like good heart. And so something happened. Dad's like, all right, you know what? If he tries out, he does good, he could be on the team. And so that little guy, man, it was almost like he was like, yeah, you know, every time he would make a tackle or whatever, you know, even the team would be like that. And so he ends up making the team, right?
Okay.
Because you know this kid's spirit is so good that it riles up the team. You know, so how can I not have this guy on my team? He's good for out. And so I guess one of their kids didn't make it, right? And something happened between them. The guy said something to Dad about it, and Dad, like, I guess, just laid into just whipped this dude's ass, like in the parking lot in Gardner.
Jeez.
Yeah, Eric was telling me this. I was like, well, "What happened?" He's like, "I don't know. He was choking him, and he started slamming him." I was like, "What?"
Oh my god!
Like, yeah, I couldn't get him off. We were just going crazy.
Sounds about right, though.
So I would ask him. I said something about it back then. I was like, how the hell little Jake the Snake made it? You know, I was saying something like that. He was like, oh, you don't know the half of it. And he's like, he was great. And I was like, yeah. I mean, anytime he made a tackle, man, it was like, a high five and going crazy.
Rudy.
But back, you know, you're thinking, like, this little guy, as a kid. But you look back at it now, you're like, this guy's